Alright, we're recording. Alright, hello everyone. We are here for workshop. Today's date is October 23rd, 4:05. We're here in the roundtable room, the conference room. So I am your Mayor Chris Villa. I call this meeting to order. Val, please call the roll.
Commissioner Penny.
Here.
Commissioner Curry.
Here.
Commissioner Danio.
Here.
Commissioner Johnson.
Here.
Mayor Villa.
Here. And also in attendance, we have Commissioner-elect Deborah Snow and members of staff. All right, Joe, throw it to you.
Okay, so the purpose of this work session was that I wanted to be able to go over the capital projects that we've been dealing with for the last couple of years, maybe back 2 or 3 years, so that the current commission can see the projects that they have been involved with, and that our new commissioners can see what's on the table, so that they know what's happening in this next year and even beyond. And part of that is so that everybody understands when you get newly elected, you're kind of married to the budget that you're given. And this is kind of what it is and what we're working on. Not that somebody comes in and says, hey, I got 5 new projects, let's put them on the list. Well, we're pretty much committed. And when you see what's on here, that's why I thought it would be important that JD was here. You kind of get a big picture. And these are citywide projects. They're not just any one single department. They're primarily public works, but there's other things on here. So every other week, Antoine, Steve, Michelle, and I, Joseph, Brian's been starting to sit in now. We go through this list and we get an update on the status of where the project is in terms of its progression and where it is in terms of its finances. So we're going to just kind of go through this like we do at our meetings. And if you have any questions about anything, stop us as we're going through it, and we'll try to answer that. But I think the whole purpose of this is just an update, an informative meeting. So we'll go ahead and start, and we'll entertain you with what we do every 2 weeks.
Well said. And Deborah, if you have any questions while we go along, the commission always just shouts them out in workshop, so feel free to do that as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, you don't have to raise your hand. You won't be covered.
Yeah.
You'll probably be ignored if you do.
Okay, so
Okay, Steve.
for the fire station project, we got $1.25 million in appropriations. Project's going well. We're looking at a completion date of November, December, contingent upon FPL doing a little bit of electrical work over there.
And we've been pulling any strings we have to try to get that electric work done, talking to Tony Tucci, talking to Roy, trying to get FPL's attention so that we can get that in, because we've got cabinets going into the building and there's no air conditioning, and it's getting me a little concerned. They're bringing in portable air conditioners to at least.
I think we gained some ground on today. They're having a meeting tomorrow, so.
Good, yeah, hopefully we'll get that done.
And
And
the
thank you for.
contractor's doing a very good job. There was no damages at all from the storms.
Yeah, and just to comment on Sabungi, we had a lot of criticism when we were gonna hire them because of a project that they did out in Port Orange that had well over 120 change orders. I think we have, 12?
We have 13,
13.
and I think 3 of them are deductive.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they've done a fantastic job for us.
Old fire station conversion, obviously we have to wait till the fire station is complete till we can do anything. I did reach out to our consultant architect to get him involved so we can get some changes after that's vacated.
And what is that converting to?
It's going to be a public works storage building right now.
That's
We're
right.
using an area down off Commercial, we're renting it. So what's down there is going to move up there, and one bay is going to be used for police department evidence and vehicles. And that sort of
Okay, all right, now I remember that.
Seawall at Riverside Park. Happy to announce we just got notified that we're getting a grant from Find. It's going to be a 50% grant up to $440,000. So that'll be on the commission meeting on the 12th.
Find is the Florida Inland Navigation District.
Now we need new dock there, though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But so that's going to be for the 12th, and then right around November 1st, I'm going to get the final design and specs from the engineers so we can put out the construction as soon as it's assumed to be approved. Sunrise Park improvements, project is going okay. We got mag locks on all the doors. down there. It's new style locks that are working pretty well. We've replaced all the tables and the benches. We've painted all the pavilions. We pressure washed everything. We have the water main in motion. The remaining piece is the sod and the irrigation, but we can't do that until the playground's in.
You said mag locks on the door. Is that the magnetic
Yeah.
stuff that we
Yeah,
did
so
at the-
instead of using the alarm locks, which we've had some problems with, these are locks that are used by Ormond Beach and some other
Yeah.
local cities, and it's putting, I think, 1,200 pounds pressure.
Yeah.
So it's just a magnet that puts 1,200 pounds pressure after the
And
outlet program.
it's not the best system, it's better than what we've had, but they're
Right.
finding out that if you prop the door open,
Yeah,
They've already figured that out.
Oh, yeah.
well, you can beat it, yeah, I mean,
Oh, that's what we want. We had, when I worked at the record shop, the guy came in, we had a new scanning machine that you go through, and I'll never forget when he said, "You're never gonna stop them, the goal is to slow them down as much as you can." That's kind of what we're doing.
So I'm guessing these are homeless people's after hours.
primarily.
Are they allowed to be in the park after hours?
not anymore.
So, I mean, I know we talked about it previously, but could you just have a security system there with cameras, and when motion is detected, it alerts someone?
We're actually have a meeting with Scott and one camera company, and there's another guy that's down here on Carswell. He owns a camera company that's just that. You'll see the cameras are out at Sunrise Park, Ross Point, and down at front of Marina Grand, these red little
Mhm.
towers. I have it on my phone, and I say, go on there and I could turn the camera. It's motion activated, it's sound activated, so you can talk to somebody through there. So we're kind of getting price quotes on that.
How well are they protected though? Are these guys gonna steal
They're GPS monitored, we'll know where they go.
them? Okay.
So this guy, he's very impressed with the city. I met him because when I sold my parents' house, I gave him the furniture that we couldn't sell, and he put it in some homeless vets buildings that he deals with. So we've come to kind of like each other. He's got this camera company now, and he provides cameras to the Border Patrol down in Texas. And on his equipment, he's now putting City of Holly Hill. So if you ever go on in the news and you'll see those cameras on there, we'll have our name on this
Oh,
equipment.
very cool.
So, yeah, good guy.
He was the one that did the camera for the parade last year, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Phase 3, Phase 3 overhead to underground utility conversion. That's Phase 3 is from Walker Street north all the way to the end, to the where basically Calle Grande is. We're trying to bury all the utilities. This one should go smoother. We did a lot of learning on the first one, and right now we are in design. FPL is preparing a cost estimate. They're gonna give us options, and Joe and I agree that the best option will be for them to do everything. And that means putting the conduits in the ground, put the installation, put their trackers on these conduits, so we don't have to do what we did. We had about 17
Do it over and
change
over.
order with the,
Finger
we
pointing.
buried it. It's a lot, it was not the best way we did it before, so at least this one will, we have about 4 to 5 locations. We still hasn't got an easement because it's gonna be an above ground, that means these big transformers, and we're trying to negotiate with people. And FPL is working with us. If we cannot get an easement from them, they try to locate somewhere else where we can get an easement, either in the right-of-way, city right-of-way, or some kind of easement for the city.
So if you go 3 miles, you still get 25% discount.
That's already incorporated in the price.
That's what they would
Well,
incorporate.
don't we get the employee discount? Why is it phase 3?
Because,
Phase
no,
1 went from Basin to 6th Street, Phase 2 went from 6th Street to
so now, that's how FPL, but we called it phase 1. And just to make sense, keep it the same.
Okay.
So FPL calls it phase 3, we call it phase 3, so we're good.
Okay, well, we did call it phase 1 up to.
Yes.
That's what I thought, I was wondering,
Yes,
okay.
yes,
All right.
absolutely.
Yeah.
again, lessons learned. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mirage Drainage Pond, we had a contract with the contractor who was working on the townhomes in that area, was doing the site work. Unfortunately, they could not provide bonds, neither to the developer or to us, so they got terminated. I'm awaiting the developer to pick his new contractor and contact them, see if we can do it at the same time. So saves a lot of headache for both us, the city, and the developer, so we don't have to come back and tear up what they did. So still working on that. Lift station 4 rehab is going to commission in next meeting for award.
That's the one over by Picton on 10th
Yes.
Street.
That's the biggest lift station in the city, and we're gonna build the new one, then tear the old one up. We're upgrading everything. It's gonna have bypass pumps, so we don't have to see that ugly pump out there. So, but it's moving forward. It's gonna be awarded next meeting.
Just a quick question, are all the new lift stations, are they all with that generator if the power goes out?
Actually, we're getting away, Chris, from generators. We're finding out that generators don't function too well, and they don't age well. What we are going to is bypass pumps. They're diesel pumps. They work electronically with like a lift station. They use the float system. The generator doesn't make a decision. The generator only gives power to the lift station. These things, the minute the power gets off, they come on, and they're just continue pumping like before. So it's a lot better, more reliable system.
So that prevents the surcharging of the system
Right.
where the
That's
lift
what I was
station
gonna
bills
ask,
and then it
okay.
kicks on and then we shove this big.
Can some of the newer pumps that had the generators, can they be converted to this new bypass system?
The problem is they're not cheap.
Oh, it's,
So we
So we're just
we are
gonna deal with
working,
them.
we are doing, as we progress, as we do a lift station, if it's big station, like 4, like 18, like 11, 11 is on generator. When the generator exceeds its life, then we'll switch to a bypass pump. And they're Thompson pumps, they're local, they're locally maintained. With the generators, we had to deal with contractors that were coming from Jacksonville. Every time they come, they cost $300-400 just to come in and do maintenance, and they're not that reliable. So
okay,
this is the best thing we can do, and they're running on diesel anyway. So,
thank you for that.
And one challenge is we don't always have the right of way
right.
Hmm.
So
to put in a bypass pump.
Oh, it's bigger?
No, it's not that big, it's just some of the areas are so small that we have. And the bypass pump does exactly what it sounds like, so if you have your
Yeah, right.
lift station, you're bypassing it, so
Yeah.
you need to kind of go,
Goes around it.
Yeah. So, but this one will have a bypass pump. And actually, on this one, we saved about $70,000 by going direct. We bought all the equipment, and they're at the yard for the contractor to use. So we don't have to wait 6-7 months until the pump lead time were about 6 months. The bypass pump had 14 months lead time.
Hmm.
So we got it. So this one will come in, the contractor starts, finishes, everything is available there.
Okay.
We have every old equipment.
But to power the bypass, are you putting an external generator onto it if it loses power?
diesel.
So it's diesel
It's a
itself? it
diesel,
just
it's
will
a
keep running?
self-generated,
Okay,
it's
all right.
self,
It's diesel, but it's more efficient than a
Okay.
generator. so
Well,
it's
Thompson,
longer.
does Thompson maintain those, or the city maintain them?
actually, we have a 5-year warranty on each one. And then if there is anything that's not under warranty, yes, we call them, they come in. It happened with the existing ones we have, and they showed up the next day.
What's the fuel capacity on those?
The bypass pump right now that we have on 18, I think it's 100 gallons, but it gives you a warning when it comes 27 or 28% of the tank is left, gives you a warning.
So you go fill it up.
Yeah, so go fill it up. That's one of the things that happened. It was an hour last storm
On the
where
weekend.
the Graham had the same, they had a little bit spillage because it was out of gas. By the time they got the gas to it or the diesel to it, it was about half an hour delay. So we're making sure that this doesn't happen again.
Thank you.
Compliance, SB 64. This is in 2000 and 2032 or 34, we have to do 32. Okay, yeah, 32. We have to comply with this requirement in the SB 64. This is Senate bill where you have to get out from the river discharging your treated water. We have a couple of projects that we're working on with the, one is under construction right now, on the golf course right now. It's listed separately, but that we replace the reclaimed water under the canal. We're extending the service, the reclaimed water to the Sunrise Park and Centennial. And Centennial, we have an irrigation plan to irrigate it, and that's at the same time double whammy. We'll dispose of the water. Plus, we're going after a grant to build a 2 million gallon tank to hold the reclaimed water, so we don't have to go to the river.
How's the interconnect with Orman? Is that on the table?
It's interconnect, we have the interconnect, but the problem is their system and our system is not compatible. If we get rid of the tower, that's part of the not vulnerability, but for the improvements on the plant. If we get rid of the tower, then we can bump up our pressure up so we can be compatible with Ormond.
Don't backflow into us, our pressure's less.
Yep.
Wow.
So
Is that gonna break more pipes when we upgrade the pressure?
no, it's only about 5 to 8. The problem with our water is the galvanized pipe. We have
11,
how much? 30? Did he say 30?
about 11 miles.
11 miles. 11 miles of galvanized pipe in the city. The galvanized pipe, it was okay 50 years ago, but now it leaks a lot. It's been in the ground, it's underwater, it's corrosion, it doesn't work too well. So we have planned to replace it, but at the same time, it's every time we have a problem, we replace it with PVC, and PVC can hold pressure for
Right. Yeah.
100
Forever,
psi. It's
yeah.
not a big deal. So we're working a little bit at a time. BTU number 3, this is the ARPA money. We have contractors already under construction. Today they were pouring concrete on the base of the tank, the third BTU. So that's moving forward, moving pretty good. School zone improvements, we are starting next Monday.
Well, yeah, school zone, we're supposed to start October 11th and 14th and have it done, and then Milton intervened, so I just gave the notice to proceed. They have their permit, we're just working on the scheduling. That's gonna be a quick job.
Good job.
And that is a CDBG grant that's paying for the vast majority of that. Vulnerability study, that's a grant also from DEP. Should have the final draft in November from Mead and Hunt.
Aerated tank coating,
Hold on, vulnerability study, which one is that?
The vulnerability, that's 23 SW01, $75,000 project.
Yeah, but what is that study?
The vulnerability is,
It's the one you're familiar with.
The one through the mayors, Florida League of Mayors?
what's going to DEP is the one that issued
Through the
it.
state?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's through
Good,
the
so that's the
city.
citywide one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. But but I was told that there was a grant available to pay for that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It
we
is.
have a grant that's paying for it.
Okay, all right, good. Thank you.
And when did you say that was gonna be available?
November, I should have, I was told 2 weeks, I should have
Okay.
the draft, and then we're just gonna look at it, make sure. I wanna incorporate stuff that we know got flooded during Milton.
Yeah.
see if that's in the vulnerability.
Okay.
So there'll be a little bit of back and forth, and then we'll finalize it,
So by the end of the year?
probably.
Okay.
I have something I want to tell you that they should look into after too.
Sure.
Joe, what we talked about earlier at
Okay,
the managers meeting.
yeah. I got you.
Let's
You know,
move forward. Aerator tank.
Aerator tank coating, that job has been completed, and Michelle has already took the money. We made a mistake of saying, one of the employees said so.
He's not here.
He's not here. but
Whose name
He
was
said,
it?
oh, you can close it. And she said, oh, yeah.
Sunrise Park improvements for the playground, this is around $95,000 for a CDBG grant. Unfortunately, they're still in fabrication. I check in every week. The Ascent Climber and the custom shade, they're still making. They gotta give me a heads up. We're gonna leave the one in place until they give me a heads up, a month out or something, so we have time to take it out. I'm thinking November, December, but again, we're kind of at their mercy. They gotta make it.
I thought we were leaving part of that, or
We're
leaving.
leaving the existing
We are.
one.
We are.
No. We're getting rid of the existing.
I'm
one.
sorry.
But we're keeping the swings.
Swings.
Yeah, the swings. were-
Swings.
But we do have to get rid of the rest of that. I just don't want to take it
Don't want to
out.
do it
No, no,
now.
no,
and
that's
have
right.
it be
Sure,
gone
yeah,
for
yeah.
a
Yep.
couple
Right,
months.
because it's still usable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Don't want to make hairs on that.
Yeah, please.
yeah. To my granddaughter too, she's like, yeah, I won't make her mad. Yeah.
Annual paving program, and I'm gonna elaborate a little bit. The annual paving program, although it's $234,000, but it's about $250 every year. What we do is to make sure that we can capture economy of scales. We do the design in 1 year, and then the next year we'll do the construction. What that allows us is to have a little bit bigger project, and we get the economy of scales. That means the bigger the job, the less costly to us. So right now, we're gonna go out to bid here in the next couple of weeks. We're doing 12th Street from Ridgewood to Riverside, 15th Street from Linda Avenue to Hammock Drive, 3rd Street, Riverside Drive to Ridgewood Avenue, Avondale Avenue from 7th Street to 10th Street, Cordova Avenue, Flemish to Granada, and Cherokee Ranch Road, 10th to North End.
In the parking lot. and the-
Yeah, well, the parking lot is independent of this, but we have a project to redo the parking lot here, to resurface and get it back to where it needs to be. Okay? Let's see. Sidewalk, it's interesting that the sidewalks, all of the contractors out there are so busy, we can't get a good bids on any sidewalks, so what we're gonna do is piggyback on the City of Daytona sidewalk contract. And we have signed and we have an agreement with the contractor, and of course he's busy. But the first things we're gonna do is Riverside because of the school timing. So we're working with the contractor to see a schedule that he can actually meet. So
Antoine, several areas on that Riverside Drive sidewalk are undermined since the storm.
yes,
As a note on that, and to this project, we did apply for a $68,000 grant through Trails Go for Riverside.
so we'll make sure that it's done correctly. Riverside Duckbills, the contract has been awarded. Have we signed? Val, did they sign the contract? Did we sign the contract?
This is the addendum one?
No.
Duckville.
Duckbills. Yeah, we have a signed because I had to send it to the commission. Yes, we have a signed contract, and the consultants is coordinating something for next Monday to have a kickoff meeting. So
Now, keep in mind, how many duckbills are we doing?
7,
7. How many outfalls are there?
30.
But we've done several the last couple of years too,
No.
right?
No.
We did one.
We've been talking about it for
Just
years.
one.
Oh, I thought we did.
No,
Seven.
It was on the list, okay.
just
So
one.
just so you know, every street, there's an outfall, but even in between the streets, there are other outfalls.
So where are these duckbills going?
In-
On the 7th one, it's on the area from 2nd to 7th. Those, everything, that's where
I knew
the
that.
flooding, no.
Right, no, that's where it is. It's.
That's where the
grade.
water backs up. Every time the tide comes in, we see water
Water on
coming
the road
out.
right now.
Yeah, going up through our inlets, that stuff that is supposed to take the water and dump it into the river. So those are the critical ones as far as we know right now. But everything, the whole, every outfall is barely seen. It's all underwater now because the river has risen. Everything has accumulated over the years and rusted. The challenge, and I don't wanna, Joe, they did not, there's no easements whatsoever on those pipes.
So if you remember back when the previous manager was here, the decision the commission made was to go ahead and let them acquire the properties on the east side of Riverside Drive. Well, in doing that, there's all these 30 outfalls. When we allowed them to take the property, we never obtained easements. So we can't legally go onto that property to maintain these stormwater outfalls.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Somebody made a mistake back then.
We have a collapsed pipe right now. I'm
I'm
gonna ask him if he wants, if he's interested, if he allows us to, we have to have right of entry to replace the pipe. And if he says no,
What? That is.
Wow.
Well, why would they say no? Isn't it gonna cause flooding in their property?
well, actually, the property is sinking, not their property, because they're on one side and the property, and.
Yes, what do they call it?
Repairing.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah,
But now they own it.
now they own it.
No, I'm just saying, but wouldn't it be to their best interest?
That's what I'm gonna sell it, John,
You would
Okay,
hope.
okay?
Yeah, right.
It makes sense,
yeah, it
but
does.
you never know, people
Yeah, okay.
sometimes don't.
Coming by boat.
Yeah. The problem, lining I can do from the outside, it's when you have to replace, the pipe is collapsed, there's no bottom on it, and it's starting to collapse, that means it doesn't have any strength. So you have to actually replace it, and that's where the challenges become. Clear pumps and piping, we are working very diligently, and some of those have been installed and some of them are being worked on. Water main replacement, 3rd Street. This is a challenging project. When we started, we expected the cost to be around $1 million. The estimate for this project today is about $2 million. What we're trying to do is do it as a piecemeal. That means do certain sections, separate it into 3 or 4 sections and do it one at a time, so we can complete it finish one side, then do the next, get the funding straight.
How big is that line? Is that 6 inch, 8 inch?
6 inch, 6 inch, but the problem is on these cul-de-sac up there, as you could, it doesn't have a loop, so it's stagnant, and so we're trying to fix that. The 11, the SHFI water is, we have a proposal we have not taken it to commission because we have everything ready. We have not signed, we have not received the signed documents from DEP. And DEP is, so when we get it, we'll be ready to move forward with this. New golf course, we're under construction, like I said, but the problem became that a valve is not sufficient enough, so we're trying to fix it, but it's all right. We're moving forward. Midnight flow study has been completed, and in that completed, we replaced about 200 cleanouts caps. We replaced those. We have a program now all you have to do is call us and we'll go out there and replace your cap. If it's broken or it's off or anything like that, we'll go repair it. We have notified everybody with it. We have found through the smoke study that we have 12 leaky rings that we have replaced and 9 manholes that were deteriorated and has been resurfaced and repaired. Resurfaced wall manholes is the same thing. We used it already up, so Michelle got $974. Sewer service extension, it's going to commission here next meeting, or did we award it? No, I can't remember.
That's the 10th
Is that the
Street?
10th?
Yeah.
It was awarded.
It was awarded, yeah. We awarded the contract, and it's it's less than this award, but it's 100% reimbursable, so we'll,
So while there's $1.3 million in that line, that's where we got appropriations twice what we asked for. And
we're gonna do a change order to install a tap on the west side of Nova, just in case in the future some other properties wanna redevelop or do something in that area, they can tap it for our water supply. Sewer supply, sorry, because the water is Daytona. Safi Water, we have, again, we're waiting on the executed document. We have actually started they did some work on it for us to get the loan application or the loan application. I can now just
State revolving.
yeah, state revolving fund application and get it accepted. It's now just waiting for them to execute. It's
Quick question on that. We're typically doing 2 million gallons of wastewater a day, and during the storm, about
Right.
6 million.
7. probably.
7 million, wow. So
Those
how,
3 days we had 7.
do you
plus.
know offhand how much this will be able to handle now?
It's,
Is it more?
It's gonna increase the capacity of the plant. The plant capacity right now is, permit is for 3 million MGD.
Okay.
We don't treat, we
Right.
treat about 1.8 to 1.9
Mm.
on an annual average. But with the BTU, the tanks, the improvements that we're planning on to doing onto the plant itself, improving the filters, it's gonna be, it reduces the chances of us overflowing and having contamination.
Is there a number on it? Is it like going to be certified up to 6 million now?
No, we will not, because we don't want to go up to the next level that becomes more regulation
Okay.
and more permit fees.
So it'll stay 3 million certified, but be able to
Certified,
handle
but we'll be
more.
able to handle more.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Sewer pipelining, we have done about $75,000 worth of sewer pipelining this year, and the pipelining contractor, we're having problems with, not problems, he's having problems finding people to do work. So I don't know what's going to happen next, but we have a couple of projects that we're waiting on, some POs, encumbrances, as you can see.
Sewer pipelining and stormwater pipelining, we applied for grants. We'll find out. We applied for 4.5 million for sewer and 4.8 million for stormwater. They're open competitive. We'll see what happens.
And so, based on last night's meeting, there's a need, we all know there's a need there for the lining, right? The
Yes,
sewer lining
because of
and
the
stormwater.
infiltration.
Right, so if future commission were to allot more money, to say, hey, okay, it's not, this budget's inheriting this commission's inheriting this budget, but we make a decision, all right, we're gonna go borrow $20 million, we're gonna bond $20 million. How much capacity do the contractors have? $80,000 doesn't seem like it's
You have to
that
compet-
much.
We have to competitively bid it. It's not gonna be an easy, because if it's, we can, the city is about 70% lined. okay, right now.
Right.
We have 30% to go.
Hmm.
Some of those lining are probably not necessary. When your pipe is down 7, 8 feet in the ground and it's been no issues with it, the problem I'm seeing right now is the old manholes, the connections, all maintenance, not maintenance, meaning it can be fixed easily without lining. But we will do, every time before we do pipelining, we do camera. And when the camera, so the first thing will be to do the cameras, determine the needs, and then, come up with $200,000, $300,000 to do the camera. Then you can decide how much loan you get, how much you
Right.
get.
I mean, it's always about the money, right?
Yeah.
We follow the money.
Yes.
We always can't spend the money we don't have.
Right.
But if we're gonna attack this problem, we gotta get the money, but we gotta know, if we got a $4 million gallon a day I, that's a lot. Where's that coming? And if we're 70% line, it can't be coming, it's always been that number. It's always been
No,
6.
just remember, now this is sanitary sewer
Right.
piping, and up above it, we have
Right.
stormwater piping.
Right,
Everybody's got to understand that the sanitary sewer is not this sealed system. So we can line every sanitary sewer pipe in the city. You still have water coming in through manholes and lift stations. So we're never going to get that total volume.
okay, so it's coming in through the manholes,
And we're
That's what we're saying. And actually, we have come up with a couple of solutions to, actually a solution, we already ordered it, we're gonna try it next storm. When you have a lift station is about 3 feet above the ground, and then you have 3 feet of water on it. On top of it, you can see it on the wall where the water stopped. The water pressure will push it in. Every little thing
Right.
is gonna push it. We had the lift station 18 that, when we had the bypass pump on it, the water was about 4 feet high with 2 feet above the manholes. And it was open because we had to use so the water was coming in as we were pumping it out. So these are the things we have to figure out what we're gonna do.
yeah.
But we have to know
Right.
what we need to
Right.
do.
It just seems like the manhole seems like it's such an antiquated solution. I mean, every one of them has at least a hole that big, right? So submarines have access holes. Why can't they twist those manholes on there so they don't leak?
Well,
there's the other unintended consequence we learned about
Yeah.
sealing the manholes is if
Yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't come out of the manholes and it's pressurized,
Coming
it's
back
going
in
to
the
back
house.
up into a home.
Right.
yeah, and when they start gurgling, you undo the clean out so
Right.
they come out
Right.
in the ground, not in the house. So-
And
And that's what stops people from flushing and doing it.
$35 a
It
year.
is bad
Sure.
as what took place on Grand Avenue with sewage coming out of at least 2 homes. If the caps were on, that volume of sewage would be in the house.
In the house,
It's
yes.
a small,
Yeah, what's worse?
Which one, yeah.
it's worse in the house, to keep it in the yard.
And we're trying to do something in that area too, so we can not then repeat that, so.
All right, so then we have,
Before we move on, I just wanted to mention that the projects that we discussed, we're going to be working on a budget amendment request as carried forward for next meeting.
okay,
To get $25 million worth of
projects.
So something that might be helpful for our next workshop, when I think more people are gonna come, is if these capital projects, if we could break out water and sewer and stormwater, it's all commingled in here, but if we could say, okay, out of this $26 million, 3.5 is going to solve our problems, that would show that we're
Yeah.
doing something more than,
Michelle did that for me the other day, and I think it was, if you take out the 2019 project out of it, it was like $2.65 million, and that was what I quoted last
Okay.
night. And so I think you could get that to us for that next meeting.
Well, that would be great to show
Yeah,
people.
and I asked her today, how much do we, we've all heard, why am I paying stormwater fee? Well, I asked her today for the new budget, we're bringing in $1,038,000 from stormwater fee, In the last 2 years, we've spent 2.65 million on stormwater improvements, or to improve that. Now, of course, some of that is grants, some of it's duck bills, all of those projects. But the point is that we are using that money exactly for the purpose. So, just so everyone's aware, because I hear that said so much, why am I paying for this and it's still flooding? Well, it's because it's a much bigger problem than what you're
Right.
paying for. We're
Well-
chipping away at it.
Is there 1 square foot of pervious area on State or Carswell?
Nope.
Unstable Carswell.
I don't think there's 1 square foot of pervious.
I thought you said
That means no grass. Everything is
Right.
concrete,
Right.
State and Carswell.
Right.
So
I
So
can't
parking
think of any, I
lot or
can't think of any
building?
grass, yeah. And if
everything
you,
that pours into the road,
And
and
it's
the
only
road
at a-
is inverted like this, it's gonna
Right.
flood.
and Joe and I were looking at it today, it's only a 5-foot elevation there on State
Yeah.
and Carswell.
Yeah, so.
You know, if Deland, I was at a meeting at noon today, and Deland did an exercise, they did a presentation to the commission, and they determined that the amount of rainfall that they had was the equivalent to an Olympic-sized pool on every parcel of property
Wow.
in that city.
Wow.
And there's just, they registered 22 inches of rain in
Wow.
that period of time.
Man.
So when you think about an Olympic-sized pool on every piece of property, and they had the same problem, they were at almost 10 million gallons of wastewater a day.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
I got a couple of questions going back to the lift station, if you can. You say the lift station, it's got a float on this lift station.
Yes,
Okay, so that's connected to the power switch. So if power goes off and the lift goes up a certain amount, it'll start up the diesel pump.
yes.
Okay, now, what happens if the power comes back on? Does it automatically?
Yeah, it
It automatically
automatically
shuts everything
engages and disengages.
And that's a good thing. That's what I was kind of concerned.
And that's how we will not get the push.
Sure.
Because I remember a few years ago, City of Ormond was reading the dirty power coming into the sewer, the actual wastewater plant. And they had one generator there that holds 10,000 gallons of diesel fuel. That's like $40,000. That rejected that dirty power. That generator run all week long and burned $40,000 worth of fuel.
While they had power.
Huh?
While they had
Well,
power.
yeah, power, but it shut off the FPL power because it was showing dirty power because it was hooked up to the C phase where about hooks to. So the city of Ormond and FPL got the big controversy of who's gonna pay that $40,000. So it does shut it completely down. And
Even the generators here in
No.
the city hall and
now what happens if, say, the power is off for a whole week? How long does that 100 gallons of diesel fuel last in it?
we have about 12,000 gallon tank.
So somebody goes out and refills it while.
Oh, yeah, we have a truck that's dedicated
So it won't
to,
just
yes.
run out of fuel.
that's what happened last time for half an hour. We just didn't get there in time.
So it's pretty well, you got it pretty well figured out.
All right, so then we got police vehicles we're purchasing here. Do we need to comment on that? We kind of see
So
those.
those are the projects that we have coming up, and then this is some equipment that's being purchased, and then we're gonna go into projects that are completed, so that you can see what you've accomplished.
Oh, these are completed here on this next page? Is that what you're saying?
Where's the completed?
On the bottom of the
The
second.
bottom.
Not the second page. Yeah, so the top of the second page is still projects that are moving forward.
All right, well, let's go through those. I don't have long. I'm gonna have to probably put it in your hands because I coach a baseball team and I have to be there. Otherwise, I would.
He's gotta go too.
I'd be
I
a
gotta leave
little
at
late.
5:30.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
So let's get this show on the road.
Yeah, let's move through.
All right.
We're gonna be.
So where are we at, Joe? Are we gonna do completed projects, Veterans Monument?
You wanna know the completed project, you wanna see what's still pending?
Well, we could do pending quickly, but let's go through it.
I mean, well, let's do the pending, and then you can just look at the completed projects, and they're pretty self-explanatory.
Okay. All right, so who's kicking that off?
Okay, well, the fire 150 and the 3 police vehicles went to commission yesterday, so you're
Yep.
aware of that.
You'll be UB.
The tablets.
Yeah, tablets, it's this for,
The field tax.
these techs to have these tablets, they have old stuff.
Okay.
F-150 for streets, yeah, that's.
That's just to replace an old vehicle.
Annual paving program will use some of this money and combine with the rolled over money to bid this year. The same with the sidewalk, we're gonna roll it and try to do as much as we can.
Air conditioning replacements in the YMCA, air conditioning replacements, those are annuals. We replace them as we need to during the course of the year, and then right around July, August, we'll start doing some preventative replacements. City Hall flooring, that is the flooring that's out here. We have some areas that are in pretty bad shape, so that's one of the projects for this year. Public Works Administration, we're looking at probably going with Verazzo or something that's gonna last a bit longer at the back of the building. City Hall Electric, in the center of the lawn, we did an upgrade a couple of years ago to get more, to get 100 amp service over there, but the rest of the east side is very old, and the power underground is very old, so we want to get that back up and running. City Hall parking lot we spoke about briefly, but we're going to do that this year. Public Works Western Fence, we're going to be putting a chain link up with privacy on the western side. There are some damages for Milton on the current one, so we'll fix that for now and then get reimbursed from FEMA and then put in the replacement. Tennis courts resurfacing, we're going to do that at the same time that we're doing the parking lot out here.
We're gonna put a basketball court.
No, this is the tennis courts over here. The surfacing is in very bad shape. So the
So we
most,
were talking, somebody wanted to put a basketball court, I thought we were talking about putting one up there or something.
No, a half court on the backside of the handball court.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sunrise Park North and the Dog Park, they both have doors and frames that are in terrible condition. So we put on the new mag locks, but the doors themselves are pretty shot, so we replaced those. 7th Street Playground, we got a $102,000 grant from CDBG. This is not to replace the existing one, this is an additional playground.
Oh, nice.
That'd be good,
Yeah,
because there's a lot of kids that go to that.
that's a
park.
busy park, yeah. Fleet AC machine, this is the machine that actually is able to service and test ACs on newer vehicles, so we need to get that. Water plant office's roof, we've had some leaks in there, which then causes some mold issues, so it's time. We gotta get that replaced.
The water main, we're gonna roll the money from before and add it to this and do it as it faces until we run out of money. Water mixing and aviation improvements, something very simple, we'd be able to do it. Hydrant repair and replacement, this is an annual thing when we run, either repair it or replace a fire hydrant that's functional or not. Meters is retrofits with cell. This is ordering a cellular service. We're trying to
It's
move out.
almost $1 million to go from what we have now to a cellular read.
And those are real time though, right?
Lift station for rehab, we have 50,000. We just rolled it with the money that we have. Reserve for sealed manholes, that's the big one we're gonna try to do for wastewater. That's where the infiltration, we're trying to reduce the infiltration. So we're lining the same thing. SB 464 compliance, we're gonna try to do as much as we can, but we don't have it funded for the Centennial Park, irrigation, and other things, so. Lift station upgrades, bypass pumps, we're trying to buy a few bypass pumps so we can, these big stations, Steve, we have a grant, right?
Yeah, we applied for $450,000 to get 3 bypass pumps in, and also another grant for Lift Station 21 rehab.
Galvanized pipe replacement, that's what we were talking about, but this is for service line, this is not the mains. This is just service lines that are leaking when we replace it with PVC. Sewer spotter truck.
Yeah, this is for our sludge. We have a spotter truck. We need a backup. Our backup's a 1980 vehicle. So we want to get a used one over there just to make sure that we're,
We can't function the
Yep.
wastewater without those trucks moving. Lift station pump replacements, these are annual things, burnouts, things like that, or we take the old one, rebuild it and put it as a spare and put a new one in. The pipeline and the stormwater, same thing, we do it on an annual basis. And
And the backhoe is, that we're replacing is old and in constant need of repair. Alright.
So, in reality, how many of these projects will be done this year? Will we have the manpower to get this whole list done?
No, it's not all gonna get done this
Right.
year. So for an example, the road paving, that's a 2-year process.
Right.
One is for design, the next year we do the paving.
same thing with the sidewalks, we try to get as much as we can done, and if we don't finish it, we move it to the next
The
year.
SB 64 compliance, that's an ongoing,
Yeah,
You got 8 years for that, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
2032.
yeah, so this is what we have budgeted this year. A vast majority of this will get done, like Third Street water main. We're not gonna get that done, that's gonna be done in phases. So,
And then we have a couple additional projects that are gonna be added into here because of Milton.
But what's interesting with the wastewater projects that are budgeted here for this next year, there's about $2 million worth of those projects, just to point out, and that needs to be pointed out
Yeah,
at the next workshop
exactly.
as well. All right. So now-
Anything I think we can do to show that we have been working on the issue, we are working on the issue,
And we'll continue.
and we'll continue.
And is there any news on a sandbagger?
we got, Val sent me the machine that South Daytona is purchasing. We're gonna take a look at that and see if that's something that we could purchase something similar to.
Not purchase, lease, because,
Then it's their problem if it breaks.
yes, because
That's
they're
much
not
better.
used often, and you're sitting outside to the element, Florida, here the area is close to the ocean, and it doesn't, and they're mechanically very challenging.
I gotta tell you, I went out to the prison and picked up sandbags. It was a drive-through. They just open up your trunk, put them in
Guys
your
had
trunk,
that last night.
put them in your trunk. I drove home and I had to fix my fence and I needed some sand. I cut those sandbags open. It was like beach sand. It was
I was
not.
gonna say,
It was.
we're gonna have to buy sand.
It was, but it was nice sand.
Yes, yes, we have crap sand.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, but when you dump that sand on your yard, because when you're done with it, it's got rocks and sticks and
Yeah,
everything.
it's got all kinds of stuff in it.
Yeah, I haven't opened mine yet. All right, then we have the completed projects in here.
Yeah, so
Joe, if you
these
wanna
completed
quickly-
projects, the Veterans Monument, the flagpole, that's done. The plaque has been put on it. If you haven't seen it yet, you can go out there and see that. The Public Works Building, Steve, I don't remember what that one was.
That was the replacement, small equipment shop in Sewer Bay, and that got replaced. It did very well in the storm, no damages.
Speaking of which, the VACCON got damaged, right?
It's fixed.
It's already fixed? Okay. All right, keep going, sorry.
Tyler Encode, that's our lovely enterprise software program. Michelle made arrangements for their representatives to come into town while she's on vacation.
Was that purposeful?
But they're bringing lunch.
They're gonna bring lunch, but we're still gonna beat them up.
They're asking for feedback.
Oh, they'll get it.
No.
Chlorine hoist is completed, Third Street water main engineering part is done. Clearwater pumps is done. Lift station number 19 is completed. Sand Predator rehab, we had the engineering only, and that's when it came in at 2 million. So we reallocated that money to do something else. And hopefully with this new plan, we'll be able to do some of that, actually the SAFI money. Lift station 20 rehab completed. AC replacement, Steve.
Yeah, AC replacement, again, that's an annual program that we have. Bulkhead over at Sunrise Park, we have the north side and the south side are completed. We still, at some point or other, will be looking at the southwest corner over there, but right now we're okay. The Centennial Park Bridge demo, that was completed. Landscaping program, that was for the front here by the Veterans Memorial, the police department, little circle back here, we got the holly tree, and then over at the YMCA. That was complete.
Riverside Duck Mills, the design has been, I mean, we're going to construction, so whatever it's done, it's complete. Pipelining, we have spent 365 on stormwater. That's only for lining. We have spent about another 250 on pipe replacements too. So that continues to work. Annual paving, yeah, that's for the design also. Software rehab number 1 completed. Auto sampling station is completed. I think they have one more and they're gonna use their own staff to do it. Sewer manhole rehab is completed. Lift station 11, rehab is completed. And we never had any issues with the lift station 11 this past storm. AC replacements.
These are for 2023.
Annual
they're
paving,
complete.
same thing. We spent the 771 on the last year ago, which is in 23. Disc flow pumps is complete. Disc flow pumps and motor. Filter control panel upgrade is complete. The station upgrade and flow study complete. Fire truck is in use. Pickleball phase 2 is complete. Smoke testing of sewer lines complete, and we have replaced 200 caps and rehab 11 manholes. Jumbo, we have it, and it's a row jumbo, it's not a motorized one. AC replacement programs.
Yeah, that's
Done.
completed for 24.
Well flow meters complete. Well check valves replacement complete. New high service pump motors complete. Lift station pump replacement is complete. Annual fire hydrant upgrade, same thing. And annual cycle program has been complete 24. And that's what we have spent this year. So it's just going to roll some of it into the next year.
Those are completed over the last 3 years.
Yes.
In the back, we have vehicle purchases. We're trying to stay on a schedule of 3 police vehicles per year. I would just want to see a couple of batches of 3 there. Toyota Camry was a good purchase for a director instead of driving a big truck that uses a ton of gas.
This car's got a glitch though, sometimes it
No.
doesn't start.
No, it was the operator
Yes,
forgot to push the button.
I know what it was.
And didn't know where the battery is, so he couldn't jump it. I didn't know where the battery is. I opened the hood in the front, there's no battery.
It's in
The battery is in the back.
It's in the back seat.
Yeah.
Back seat,
Yeah.
not back seat, in
And
the
the
trunk.
floor.
Oh, is it?
The
Oh.
In the
trunk.
I had the same thing with my Sonata Hybrid.
Yeah.
The batteries are in the back.
Yep, mine's in the back seat.
A mule that was to replace a streets mule that was in terrible condition. F-150, again, these are based on the ages of the previous vehicles, so those would have been probably 15, 20-year-old vehicles that got replaced. Maverick was for code enforcement. Skag mower, we had to replace one of those. And after waiting for quite a long time, we got all 3 of the 350s in last week.
And they're all diesel, right? They're all diesel.
So my.
And they got, one of them's for the sewer truck, which is huge.
So this, keep in mind, this is the last couple of years of capital projects. So I don't want everybody to think that nothing happens in public works. A lot happens in public works. You just don't often see it. And it doesn't include the day-to-day operations that go on with all the personnel.
Well, I think we understand. The problem is, I don't think the public understands.
Where are we at with Ross Point Pier?
But it's the debate with FEMA. We were going through, Steve's been working his butt off on this. We meet with FEMA every 2 weeks on a Thursday. We were going through the process and we're fighting for mitigation, meaning that we wanted to have the pier, not replaced in its previous condition, but upgraded to what we thought was a good pier down at Second Street, maybe not so much
Well,
anymore.
that boat went through it.
Right.
Well, that's what we figured based on the angles and what.
One of those two
Oh,
boats,
is that
one of those
what
two boats went through that pier.
Yes,
The
yes.
things are like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we've received more damage as a result of Milton, so we're not quite sure how FEMA's gonna respond to that, but.
Right. We, what happened, we put in for mitigation. 2 years later, they came back and said, we don't want to do mitigation on it, and they gave us a price estimate for the repair, which is incredibly low. So we had Tetra Tech, who's our consultant, redo their cost estimate, which is around $100,000 higher. And we just uploaded it to Grants Portal, and now we just got another $200,000 worth of damage to the piers.
Let me tell you how bizarre FEMA is in this process. I don't know if it's that project or the police department project, but they told us they were not going to approve a mitigation project. And then when we said, all right, we're just gonna move forward as is, they wanted us to write a letter to them to explain why we're not gonna go through the mitigation process. And I'm
Unless
like,
police department.
police department, I'm like, it's because you denied it. And they said, well, no, you have to tell us why you're not gonna.
Actually, and on the police department, I just had a meeting on that one today, and I sent off a challenge on that one.
Good.
Yeah, because FEMA, the way that mitigation put together a benefit cost analysis, they showed 3 days that it was impacted after Hurricane Ian, and they showed Hurricane Irma, Hurricane Matthew, Hurricanes Charlie and Francis Jean that year, no impact days. Those impact days are worth money on the BCA, so I sent it back to them, said, no, you gotta include this.
Well, it's just, we're gonna get criticized, I think, because Marina Grand is going to special master on Friday, I think, for their dock that was damaged in Ian.
Yeah.
And the residents, some of the residents there are very upset, but our dock got damaged in Ian too, and we're like,
We've held off for the longest time of not doing anything with the docks on Riverside for that very
Right.
reason, because we were going through the FEMA process and we've got delay after
Right.
delay after delay. We just met last week with code enforcement and we decided we're gonna take the soft approach to try to get the Riverside people to either repair or replace or remove their damaged docks. Now our dock was damaged again. The reason the Marina Grande is moving forward is because their internal problems is forcing us to do it.
Okay.
So you got residents complaining to the COA of the dock portion, and they're hounding us to do something about it, so we're gonna take them to the special master.
okay. So that's the only one that's getting, because I was thinking, my neighbors, they rebuilt our dock 4 times, and it just got trashed again. I mean, it's like 50, 60, 70,000 bucks every time they fix it.
Do they have insurance on that, or is that just
Can't
out of
insure them.
pocket?
The only thing that's insured for is fire.
Wow.
So when
So
the
when the
hurricanes
storm
come,
comes in,
light it
Light it
up.
on fire.
That's
Good time to have a fire.
Choose light.
Make sure you have a short, some kind of short on the dock.
We're
Power.
gonna push back against FEMA too, that they didn't want to do any mitigation for Ross Point. Well, we just had another $200,000 in the damage.
Right.
If it was mitigated, it probably wouldn't have.
Right,
you
right.
know?
Well, that's like,
And as it is, I don't want to just put decking back on that pier.
no, well,
It's not gonna work.
the neighbor I'm talking about, they've put decking back on their existing pilings. And there's 5 other new docks in the area that are higher and stronger
Yeah.
that had no damage to Milton.
Wow.
Wow.
Because they're
Built right.
They're built
Right.
right.
Pennywise, dollar foolish.
My goodness. All right.
So, remember Lisa telling us in Seminole County, it took her 10 years to finish it, after you left, actually. She told me, oh, we have 10 years from Gene, from
To get
Gene
reimbursed?
Francis. Yep, 10
Wow.
years to get everything paid.
We just finished Irma.
Yeah.
We just got $600,000 for the bulkhead, so that completes that one. Matthew, they still owe us $100,000.
Sometimes
7
those
years,
things,
right?
they take.
2016, yeah.
16?
16 for Matthew.
They bumped the ball next, the next.
Yeah, the next person that gets
And
hired.
they
And
keep
there's
on
really
sending me
nothing
requests for
we can
information,
do.
so
Our
I'm still
hands are
working on
tied.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought FEMA was like $9 billion in debt or something. Aren't they like crazy?
At some point, they're
Yeah.
gonna say, we can't do this anymore.
I know. All right, well, thank you to the staff, and it's good to see this, and good luck, future commissioner. And so we talked about for the next workshop, it would be really good to see those.
I'm gonna probably do it in there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I hear that
When's
there's
that?
gonna be a lot of people coming.
Yeah,
So-
so
30th or something?
the information.
I watched the Port Orange City
A
Commission
week from
meeting
today.
from last week
Oh,
online.
yeah.
And their city manager did a great explanation of all the drainage systems coming into their city from the other cities, and that they only have 3 outfalls, and if the tide's in, they can't outfall. It was, I don't know who prepared it, but it was a really good presentation
I'll see if I can
that
find
they
out.
did.
Yeah, and that's very important for us because that Nova Canal and everything else we're taking in, like I said,
I
0.8%,
think
not even 1%,
the more we
less
can
than 1%
inform-
growth. There's not development, overdevelopment in Holly Hill. There is around us possibly, but,
Right.
but so,
I think if we can inform people a little better, just to give them the knowledge, it might dismiss some of those
Some.
assumptions.
some, yeah,
Well, I said some.
you're right. Yeah. All right, well, I gotta go. Are you guys gonna continue?
I don't
just
see
have to
why.
leave right now.
No, we're done as far as this is concerned.
Yeah. All right.
And next Wednesday we'll be in there, because I expect there to be more people.
Is it the
Not
same
gonna
time
show up
as
in
Wednesday?
here.
Part of the problem is gonna be though, really quickly, is that people are gonna come expecting to speak. And traditionally, we don't allow that during a
Right.
workshop. So, I hate to tell them that. I don't know how we get that word
This-
out, or we
this
just allow
works.
them 2 minutes each.
I wouldn't. This work session was scheduled long before we
I
knew
know
there was a
it was.
hurricane. So
Yeah.
this was just an update on stormwater in general.
Basically, a workshop is for informational
Right.
purposes.
Yeah, so I wouldn't open it up, because you're gonna open it up to the public.
Oh, I know, we're just
We'll be
gonna
in the
take a lot,
ninth inning.
we're gonna take a lot of flack for it, I know, but
That's not.
I
think if we
understand,
start
Joe.
I'm
I'm just
You know
saying. from-
me, I'm just gonna get right to the point.
Yeah.
I'm just start out and say, look, this workshop was scheduled before the storm, it's got a certain purpose. Now, from this, it will lead to probably another workshop
Yes.
that where the public will be invited
Yeah.
for more comment.
And we'll have the study, like you said, in sometime in November, and that's when there can be actionable items that we can actually
Right.
formulate a plan from, so. All right, awesome. Well, is there any further business before us? All right, seeing none, this meeting is adjourned.